Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You guys love Xpeng, so guess what? We're doing a little road trip. So we're gonna head down to Canberra just for an overnight trip. And yeah, so I charge a car overnight. Yes, I actually paid for charging, 8 cents per kilowatt hours. So yeah, realistically it was only a few dollars. That's the realistic truth. So in terms of settings, so let me flip the camera around. So you can see that it's on WLTP rating, and you can also set to dynamic. I'm not too sure what dynamic means, but I guess using general knowledge, common sense, it kind of sounds like it'll adjust and adapt to however you're driving. So with the WLTP rating, you can see down the bottom over here, at 99%, it's 563. And I can confirm that it does match up to the specs, because at 100%, it did show 570 kilometers WLTP. And if I switch to dynamic, you'll see dynamic, it says 576. So I'll leave it on WLTP and we'll see how we go. Now, based on looking at ABRP, a better route planner, it did say that we could do the entire distance to Canberra and we'd still have about 23% left. So we'll see how we go by about halfway, just to, I guess, ease our comfort and see how we go, because it's the first time that we're doing a road trip in a non-Tesla vehicle. Anyways, first things first, let's go look at the boot and I'll show you a couple of things that we're packing that I think is always necessary for any EV road trip. Alright, so this is the boot of the Xpeng G6. So we've already got stuff that's in the second row for the kids. We've got also over here a present for my brother. So we're going down to Canberra. My brother's moved down there, been living there for a while. And this, for you car lovers, if you didn't know, was from the original Fast and Furious. This is the Lego Supra that was just released a couple of months back. So not too sure if it's still something common that you can get, but that's a present for him. Now, some stuff on EVs that I feel like you guys should always bring on every EV road trip. It's harder than it looks to bring it on one hand. Now, just showing you underneath. I've got a granny charger or AC charger. And then to the side of that, you can see that we've got a Type 2 to Type 2 cable. My one here is a 5-meter cable, and it is up to 22 kilowatts. So that's the first two items. And then down over here, we've got some other stuff that's included with the car. I guess general safety. So there's a safety vest. There's also emergency triangle, tire repair kit as well. And also, hiding in the back, another thing I highly recommend everyone always has in their road trip toolkit. And this one here is thanks to Jawa. They've previously sponsored this item for the channel. A tire inflation kit, or tire inflator kit. So this one here is portable. You can charge it and you can pretty much just use it as it is. There are ones that you can also plug into a cigarette lighter port. But from my side of things, I think it's definitely a necessity, because cars these days, they don't have spare tires, right? So the last thing you want, even if you've got a slow leak, you want to have the capability of pumping it up and just ensuring that you can keep going and keep moving, as opposed to just being stuck there. So for me, it's an absolute must. But that's pretty much what it looks like. Now, I'll also close the boot tray just so you guys can see how much space we're working with. So that's what it looks like there, and let me just lower the camera. There you go. Alright, let's look at the second row and see what we've planned. So first things first, we've got a dark shade, because on road trips it's going to get pretty warm and this car doesn't have tints. Then look inside. So guys, this is what the Xpeng G6 looks like with 2 kid seats. So we've filled out some stuff over here. We've got laptop desks over here. They won't block the air vents, of course. And in terms of space, this is how much we're playing with. So look, realistically, with 2 kid seats, there is not a whole lot of space. You will absolutely not fit a third person in there unless they're really, really small. And so that's everything we've packed. So you've got your nice glass roof as well, so it'll let a lot of light in as you're driving. And yeah, that's the second row. Okay, so remember, at 99%, the car is saying at the moment we can do 562 kilometers WLTP. Now, this is here using the stock Xpeng maps. Now, what I want to show you is, if I'm navigating to Brisbane, so obviously this car will not have enough range. It shows here 722 kilometers. So if I tap onto that, you'll see that it says here Brisbane estimated charge 1 time. So if I hit start, it will start thinking, it'll map everything out. And the great thing is it tells you insufficient range. So actually it wasn't 700 something kilometers, so it was 900 something. Tells you it's insufficient range. So the good thing is, if you actually tap this icon here, it looks for charging stations across the way or along the way. So it actually maps out everything for you. So it tells you you drive an hour 46, you charge there, you'll get there at 69%, charge through to 99%, which is 9 minutes. I don't think you'd actually hit 300 kilowatts, but anyways, besides the point, it then tells you you can drive further, you charge again, and then you get to your destination. So stock maps is actually really good. It gets a thumbs up from me because it actually will map everything out. Now for us today, let's go back. We're going to head down to Canberra. And so it's saying over here, I'll use this for memory, 285 Ks, we should get there with 301 kilometers left. It doesn't say what percentage, which is a little annoying, but you can see up over here, 562 at 99%. So it'd definitely be in the 20 something percent for us to get there. And then if we hit start, I'll show you what it looks like. So that's essentially what the whole maps looks like.
Turn right onto Hudson Avenue.
So the screen is very intuitive. There is no lag at all, and the colors look amazing. So that's the stock maps. And what you can also do, I found out, is if you hold this button here on the steering wheel, so hold that down, it does enable that. And then you can use these arrows here. If I push right, you can go map mode, you can show there, or you can actually scroll up and down over here as well. So you've got music, you've got sport mode, you've got your various other things you can look at as well. And if I switch right back to this smart drive mode, there is also an option, I believe, to have a map over here as well. So you can actually switch them independent of each other. So I think it's really, really helpful. All right, so let's start heading off. So I'm still going to stick to using Google Maps, but we'll monitor range as we go. I'll show you guys what it looks like on the highway. And yeah, so based on this, it's going to take us 3 hours, 9 minutes if we do the entire distance, doing 286 Ks, and we'll get there at 1:22 p.m. All right, see you soon. Alright, just going to demonstrate auto lane change on the highway. So we've got the cruise control on, or the Xpeng X Pilot. So you just soft tap to indicate out, and you'll see over here on this screen that it's got a rectangle icon, and then it pulls out, and then it tells you that lane switched successfully. And then we're going to try the same thing as we come back in a moment, after we pass this car on the left. So soft indicate left. And there we go. Nice and simple. All right, we've just stopped by for a little detour at a winery. I'll put the name up here. I don't know if it's good or not, but I'll put a smiley face or a sad face if it was good or bad. And yeah, so basically we've got an hour, 38 minutes left for the drive. So let me show you our consumption and stats so far. Okay, so let's have a look or quick review on stats. So at the moment, we're 72% state of charge. We can still do apparently 409 kilometers. In terms of what we've just done, so we've covered 138.4 kilometers. It's taken us just over 2 hours with an average consumption of 18.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So that's basically the midway point. Any questions, drop it down below. We've done lane change. The car's performed flawlessly. The auto lane change was really good, and no complaints so far. I've been really comfortable. I've had ventilation seats on the entire time. We've had aircon on as well, and yeah, I definitely would recommend tints though. My face was really burning with this glass over here. Other than that, that's essentially the update for this half of the leg. I'm not going to record the next half, but I'll give you the update once we've landed in Canberra. Bit windy here, not using the mic, but this is basically the winery that we're talking about. Okay, just had lunch, about to depart from the winery, 72%, 408 Ks. We're heading to, I think it's called Weereewa Lookout, which is about an hour, 6 minutes away. So we'll get there 2:29 p.m, 116 Ks. So 72% and 408 kilometers on range. So we'll see what we end up with. Okay, it's raining at the moment. We're on the highway doing about 110. Just gonna stay quiet so everyone can hear and see how much cabin noise there is going at 110. My personal opinion is even with the rain, the wipers are really quiet and cabin noise is actually quite minimal. So enjoy the silence. What?
Do it tomorrow. Retake tomorrow.
Why?
Because the flappy thing is making this sound.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, you'll capture it.
We'll see. Almost at the end of this random road we've gone through in the suburb of Breadalbane. This is how the suspension is. The same as if you wanted to know Parramatta Road in New South Wales. It's bumpy. But what a view. Have a look at that. What a view. We're at Weereewa Lookout. I'll put the link or the map specific name on the side. I don't know if you can hear me. It's freezing. My hands are cold. Like, I don't know if you can see that, but it's an amazing view. Let me flip the camera. Welcome to Canberra. We're driving into the city to our hotel at the moment, and if you're interested in some stats, I don't have the overall consumption yet, but we have done about 286 kilometers so far. Our percentage for battery is currently at 34%, and it says we can still do 194 kilometers. So we're about 12 minutes out, or 7.5 kilometers. So the end state will be roughly 186 kilometers that we could still do, which I think is actually quite amazing. So overall feedback, I think this car's performed very well. A couple of times the lane changing I felt was a little bit slow, but it still did it. And that's about it. Okay, we've officially arrived at our destination. So overall, we've done just under 300 kilometers, so 293.7 kilometers, and we're down to 33%, which says you can still do 189 kilometers. So overall, extremely easy to go from Sydney to Canberra in less than one charge in your Xpeng G6. All right, good morning from Canberra. So at the moment we are at 31% state of charge. We can do 176 kilometers. Definitely nowhere near enough to go back to Sydney. We're just doing some tourist sightseeing whilst we're here, making the most of it. Here at Royal Australian Mint. So there's a charger here that's I think 150 kilowatts that we are going to give a go, and so let's see what we end up with. So over here you can see 25 kilowatts only, so we'll see how we go. Hopefully it's not going to take too long, but at least we've got something just to get us to the next charger if we need. So, plugging this in, you'll see authenticate with mobile app. So let's have a look. And this is ChargePoint D. So looking at the app over here, Royal Australian Mint, ChargePort D, unlock. And you can see as well, 800 volt DC. Okay, let's see how fast we get to. So there's a BMW iX that's charging next to us, 21 kilowatts, so we're currently on 28, which I guess is a little bit of a plus. Alright, let's get in the car. Let's see what other information we can see in here now. Okay, back in the car. Let's see. Alright, we're back in the car. So it's charging at roughly 28.5. I've seen it hit 29 kilowatts. So not the fastest over here. Says it will take an hour 28 to get up to 80%. So most likely we'll just let it charge here for a little bit till whenever we're done, and we may need to do a top up at a faster charger later. So that's pretty much it. Also, for the ones that are wondering, why don't I go and try another supercharger? There is another one here down in Canberra, but a little tight on time today, and it's going to take us about 25 minutes just to drive down south from here to get to that charger, which means coming back up to this area is going to take pretty much 40 odd minutes to 50 minutes round trip. So unfortunately I don't have that time, but we'll see what other chargers we have on the way back. And I guess this is the other thing, right? There's fast chargers that can go up to, say, 350 kilowatts. This car can, of course, do, I think, 270, 280 at peak, but it is capped at the moment based on these slow chargers. So it's 32.9. We're doing 33 kilowatts at the moment, potentially because it's being shared with the vehicle next to us as well. So either way, I think one of the main things to also consider is when you are driving an EV, you know, you don't want to go out of your way to charge all the time. We could have charged at accommodation, but accommodation was fully being used and there were no free charge ports. So we decided that we'll just come here, we can plug here, we can go down, do what we need to do, we'll come back, and if it's charged to whatever we need, let's just go with that. But ideally we don't want to be hanging around just waiting for a charge for a longer period of time. That's my personal views. Anyways, thought I'd give you guys that update, and let's come back and see what we end up with later. We are at McDonald's Sutton Forest West. I think it's also known as Sally's Corner. So at the moment we are at 37% state of charge, 208 kilometers. We ended up leaving Canberra with, I think it was about 60 or 70% from memory. And that was about $25. So we just need to top up here for maybe 5 minutes, and that should get us all the way home via detour at Bowral just for some other things. And yeah, let's see what charging speeds we get. So 37%, 208 Ks. Okay, we've got all of this unplugged and ready to go. So over here, this is HS002. These are quite heavy, so just gonna use my other hand. So that's all plugged in. You'll then see plug connected, starting session, and let's just authenticate ourselves for the payment on here. So I've got the app already. and looks like we are good to go. Says you're charging. So here it is. Much better speeds. 167 so far. Let's have a look in the car. Okay, we're back in the car. So you can see down here, 35 minutes left, 39% at the moment. It's charging at 169.7 kilowatts. And this is what you see on the car here. And this is 35 minutes to actually charge to 100. So we actually definitely won't need anywhere near that amount. Okay, so we've been charging for about 8 minutes. You can see we're about 175 kilowatts at the moment, which actually is very, very impressive. It did at one point drop down to about 160 something, but it's been quite steady at over 170. And yeah, with 60% state of charge, we can definitely do over 300 kilometers. So we only need about 150 to head on home. So that's about it. We're going to wrap up the video here. If you guys got any questions, drop it in the comment box below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more content, and we'll see you soon next time. Take care.